You were always scum.
Rebel scum.
James, have you heard the news?
Oh no! Wait, is it Hollow News already? Should I start singing?
No.
Okay.
No. In fact, stop singing in general. They are releasing a Walmart exclusive Baby Yoda Bop It. Remember Bop It?
Like the game?
Or like pull it,
yeah.
twist it.
Bop
But
it.
it's Baby Yoda.
What?
So I don't know exactly how it's gonna work because it looks like a Baby Yoda.
But you bop it. Is
Bop
this like a play on the last episode of The Mandalorian when they punch Baby Yoda in the face?
It says press top of head to start. So I don't know if you like twist the ears and
Oh my gosh.
poke the stomach or something, which I guess is sort of the same thing as I don't know.
Why don't they just make
very
a tickle me Baby Yoda? That's what tickle me.
Features the voice of the Mandalorian. Oh, so it's probably like either Pedro Pascal or someone that sounds like Pedro Pascal going, "Pop it, twist it."
This is the way.
It either comes in hot or cold. Either way, you're coming in. That's not even remote.
I don't know what he says. The Mandalorian was okay. It was an okay show.
Yeah, it was subpar.
Mediocre at best. I would say the thing that it was missing was the one thing you have to realize about Star Wars, Brock, that you might not know. Star Wars is actually, I'm just talking about, but I don't know. It was awesome. I love that show.
Rebel Scum Podcast, episode 180.
We hate.
I'm Brock. This is James.
I'm James. I hate Star Wars.
Bringing you all the Star Wars news you need to know.
I have to say something because I wanted to say it last time we were on here.
Yeah.
And I forgot, and then we were just talking, and I didn't say it, so I have to say it. I know they're slowly coming back, but I miss the smell of movie theater popcorn.
Yeah.
Like I made popcorn. I was like, yeah, it's okay. I like the flavor that I had, bland, but I was just like, I'm you know what? I miss that smell. And the thing is, next time I go to the theater, will I eat that movie theater popcorn that's been sitting in the glass cage for the last 7 hours? Will I eat that popcorn next time I go to the theater? Will those hot dogs like are on the machine just sweating to the oldies? Are those going to get eaten ever again? Like, are we going to go back to that? Like, hold on, let me get you a hot dog.
What are you talking about? The teenagers that work at movie theaters are very health conscious people.
You know they're wearing masks.
Yeah.
You're right, though. That they are the most health conscious demographic. Actually, I don't know who's right now in a pandemic. Who's worse, 20 to 30-year-olds or 60 to 100-year-olds? Because I've found that the 20 to 30s, not that I found, this is hearsay, they go to the bars and they're like, hey, we're invincible. And then like the 60 to 100 are just like, I don't care. I'm going out. I'm going to the store. I don't even care. I'm going to get on that plane and I'm going to go to my summer home. Why? Because I'm old and I earned it. Who's worse right now?
I don't know. I think they're interchangeable. Like I know people in their 60s probably are still working, but like you just talked about two age demographics that don't really worry about money that much. Are working right now and being laid off, or have to work from home, or in furloughed, or like, we gotta wear five masks. One here, two on your face, two on your mouth, one on each eye, and one on the back of your head, because that's where your breath, your air comes out.
Yeah. I have 3 or 4 masks now, and I gotta say my favorite still the surgical masks. I'm still big on the big throwaway surgical masks. I wore a black one last weekend, and I was like, But the surgical mask, you throw it on, and you throw it out, and then I also feel like I'm performing surgery.
I have the washable cloth ones, and every time I do my laundry now, it looks like I have thongs in there.
Yes.
Oh, right, a mask. We're in a nightmare.
We are in a. It's a weird nightmare because now we're in like that part of the nightmare where you're like, just pinch me, just pinch me. All right, I'm in it. I'm just in it. I'll wake up eventually, but we're not going to. This thing's lasting for another year. Let's be honest. Tenet comes out in a week, I guess. They've just decided this movie. Let's just allow this movie to bomb, I guess, because it's not gonna make its money back. They're like, are you gonna go see it? You're not allowed. But would you go see it if you're? Are you gonna sneak to the theater? She's not watching.
Well, here's the funny thing. We drove past the drive-in movie in my area, and we had to pull over and go in and look at the posters because they still have a Wonder Woman poster up.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, that means they're gonna show it. And I'm like, well, I was like, yeah, probably. But she was like, let's go back and see if it says the date. But it's the old June poster. Yeah. So
it's November now, right?
I thought it was November. What's
I think it's
November.
I think it's Black November. Widow? Black Widow, but I think Wonder Woman also moved down. Like it was like, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah. So to answer your initial question, I think if they show Tenet in the drive-in, which I don't understand why they wouldn't.
Yeah, they will. Yeah. Wonder Woman. What's it called? 1984.
1984. I think it's just 84, right?
I have no idea. No, 1984.
Oh, okay.
According to 66% of Google users liked this film that has not been released. October.
Are you trying to tell me that the Google metric isn't actually useful?
October 2nd. So you could see it in the drive-in in October 2nd.
Apparently, I didn't know this about our drive-in. It's open.
There's a cheetah trailer?
I think so, but I haven't watched it.
Is that real?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it either. I don't care. Like I said, I'm probably going to see the movie, so I don't really need the trailer. I've decided now, I'm like, unless it's a movie I've never heard of and the trailer I'm like, ooh. For these big tentpole movies, I'm already going to see it. So whether it's in the theater or not, I don't know. I don't care. Birds of Prey on Crave.
Release it in theaters so they have their opening weekend or whatever, but then release it digitally 2 weeks later. Like, try to get your money as much as you can. You know?
They're going to need to. But I don't know. Tenet, I can't see doing too well. But I mean, people will go see it. Don't get me wrong, but it $220 million movie or whatever it is. It's not going to make that back in a pandemic. I think Fast 9 was the best. They're like, next year.
To which I say to you, as I've already said to you before, I mean, multiple times about Star Wars, is like, I don't care about that stuff. You know, it's just like,
no, but that's what
that's something that business created. So it's like that's not the end of the world.
But the problem is
they don't make their money, right?
But they don't make the money. Then the next movie, they're like, well, we can't make that movie because this one didn't make money, and then it starts this trickle effect, and then all of a sudden we're just stuck with 18 more Avenger Endgames, and it will just be Avenger Endgame. It won't be anything but Avenger Endgame. It'll just be that
from different points of view.
Yeah, it will be. They're like, well, people like that movie. That's the last one to make money, and they're like,
this one we follow Jarvis.
Yeah,
not Vision, just the bodiless voice in his mansion. And this one we follow Colby Smulders.
Was she in Endgame?
I think at the very end. I don't think she has a speaker room. I could be wrong.
Oh yeah, she was at the Stark funeral. Spoilers. Spoiler. Okay, let's talk about real news. Star Wars. This one should have been a theatrical release because, whatever. But the Hyde executive producer Heidi's favorite movie is getting a remake / sequel, and that is the Holiday Special, which is releasing on November 17th.
Yeah.
On Disney Plus.
Yep.
So what do you make of this Holiday Special?
I think this is smart because this is the only way you can do something goofy like that, and people will be like, "Why?" Like, yeah, there's a magic to the original one, but that's like
I don't know,
cultishness of it. You know, it's like The Room. The Room is a terrible movie, but when you watch it with a group of people and make fun of it.
Has anyone watched it all the way through?
What?
The Room? Not in the theater, like at home. Has anyone ever watched it all the way through?
A Room?
Yeah.
The Room? Yeah, I have.
No, The Room is the good one. Which is the good one?
No. The Room is
the bad
Room
one.
Is
Room
the
is a good one, yeah.
The Room is what's his first name? Wiseau.
Tommy.
I was like Charlie Wiseau. That's like that.
Tommy Wiseau. Tommy,
thank you. Oh, hi, Mark. But you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I think Lego will be able to be the closest to the goofiness and like the serious goofiness that is that like it can pull off that humor with Star Wars, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a good move. And then you can do a lot of stuff. And like from the sounds of it, there's going to be some like cool possible canon stuff in there. Like they're talking about Rey meeting with young Luke at some point, or at least it starts off Rey going somewhere with BB-8. You're like, oh, cool. Because we're never going to see that in a movie, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think I'm just reading up on it a little bit, but I think Star Wars needs to have some fun. And like you said, Lego gives them the opportunity to have fun because everything else, for whatever reason, they want to take it way too seriously. Until you watch the movies, which are just riddled with humor and jokes now. But like, it's weird. It's like, we have to be serious. But here's we're going to call them General Hugs. That's not, like, you're worried about Star Wars detours a show making Vader not look tough. And then okay. I wish they did. I wish they would just release detours. Just show it. Like, I think we're past the point of worrying about how Vader comes across now, because I think everyone knows how he comes across. Like, I think they're done with Vader. Like, I mean, maybe not in comics, but in movies and stuff. I don't think we're gonna get Vader for a while, if ever again. So show me the detours. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this holiday special because I think it'll be fun. The Life Day is gonna make an appearance in it. I'm curious if the voices are coming back. John Boyega just went on the Twitters and told the toxic Star Wars fans to FAK off.
Frick off.
And I don't blame them. They're like, I mentioned this the other day. I had to take a step back from the twatter because it was just like, it's like, what is the... If you go on there and you're like playful and having a good time and you're gathering information and you're sharing information, you're just reaching out and talking with other people for like having a good time, fine, that's great. But it's just turned into this sleaze fest of gross.
Yeah.
I mean, it always was, but now it's like really, and then it's like Star Wars. Like there was one. Do you know? I have to bring this up because there was one the other day when I logged in briefly. I saw people arguing over the lightsaber again, the one that Anakin, Luke, Rey's lightsaber. It's like, this is Anakin's lightsaber. Whose lightsaber is this? And everyone argues over it. First of all, why are we arguing over this? Secondly, who cares? Thirdly, it was Anakin's. Then it was Luke's. Then it was Rey's. Right?
Yeah.
So, whose is it? Well, now it's... I don't know whose it is now. Now it's in the sand. So it doesn't really matter whose it is anymore. It's the sand. It belongs to Tatooine. But in each of the trilogies, it's somebody else's lightsaber. The end.
Yeah. Over.
Yeah. It's because... Anyway, I just want to... The Star Wars needs to have fun again. And I can't wait for this holiday. And I can't wait for the backlash of the holiday special. Because people are like, ah! And also... I'll bet you $20 someone will say Rose has more lines in the holiday special than she did in The Rise of Skywalker. $20!
Probably. Yeah, I mean, it's just like Lego can like really exist in that world because it's like if people like us don't like it, kids will probably like it. Like so, it's like it's a no-brainer. It's like, or if all the groups like it, then they're like, okay, we make a second one.
That'd be amazing. So, look, you have to think of the kids. Think of the kids, Brock. Think of the kids.
Of it. Good. Though I wish they would stray away from like, let's make this new story, and then it's like all the generations of Star Wars is like somehow Rey meets young Luke, or like Mace Windu shows up, and it's like, why does it have to be every iteration of Star Wars existing at the same time?
Because I think they're just gonna have fun, and I think the fun Luke I think fun Luke is the one from A New Hope, and I think they just want to like if you have New Hope Luke interacting with Force Awakens Rey, you could have a lot of fun. I think that's what it is. It's like, who do we have the most fun with? And who do fans identify these characters? Like what movie do the fans identify the characters with the most? And I would hope that Han Solo is just frozen in carbonite the entire time, and maybe he's the tree that they decorate for Life Day.
I'm excited. It's cool. I'm curious when they decided to do this.
Yeah,
I don't want to be like a COVID truther or something. It's like when new projects come out, I'm like, when did you actually work on this?
I would think with the animation, I bet you like a year ago.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how long this computer. Well, they probably already have all the models, right, for these characters in Lego. So maybe it was March 15th. I was home from the COVID one day, and I said, well, let's do a Lego Star Wars Christmas special. And I pitched it, and they said, do it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So
I'm excited for this. This November 17th, you said?
November 17th is what I read. That I believe that is actually the anniversary of the holiday special also. It's not like a special anniversary year. It's like 42, probably 43.
Yeah.
But I believe that's or it was even the 17th or 19th. It's around Thanksgiving. Either a plane or a boat or something's going by. I don't know what's happening. An alien spacecraft is landing outside. I'm not sure what's going on. It's around there. So it's the American Thanksgiving, not the Canadian Thanksgiving. We get Mandalorian.
Yeah,
probably not. Probably after, but whatever. So it's their Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, November 17th, 1978 was when the original one came out.
Yeah, so we're looking at 42 years. Nice. 42 years. Big anniversary. Cool. 42. Yeah, should be a lot of fun. Can't wait for that. Really looking forward to it because I love Star Wars. I love Star Wars content. Mandalorian's going to be a good time. Are you concerned with seeing a Mandalorian 2 trailer? Or are you like me and you're just like, I'll see it when I see it. I was going to watch the show anyway. I don't need a trailer.
Sure. I think I won't be able to avoid it. Uh-huh. I think I'll have to watch it.
Oh, but yes.
But like, I won't believe it's coming out till it comes out. You know what I mean? Because like they've been hypothesizing this for weeks, and it's like, oh, they had a meeting. Oh, they went and played golf. There's gonna be a trailer. It'll come when it comes.
Exactly.
Isn't it more exciting to not be knowing when it's gonna happen and be like, oh, like, isn't it fun when you wake up and the internet is going crazy because they dropped a trailer overnight or something like that?
I guess there was a rumor that the trailer was going to drop this week. I didn't even know that until like after it was supposed to drop, and people were like, I'm so disappointed. Why would Lucasfilm do this to me? And I said, did they do anything?
Because fuck you.
Cursing. Well, they didn't, but they didn't do anything because they didn't announce anything. It's all these like these leakers and rumor spinners. They're like, well, I heard from a source. You know what I heard? I heard that The Mandalorian season 2 was canceled due to COVID. Canceled.
They canceled.
I heard season 3 was going to be a theatrical release. Should I make that the title of this video?
Yes, please.
Will The Mandalorian season 3 be a theatrical release?
Yeah.
Or I should just call this Mandalorian season 2 trailer official.
Would you ever, if they put like the season 1 together as just a flowing thing, there's no credits, it flows from one episode to the next in theaters. So it's like 5 hours. Would you go watch it?
Would it be 5 hours? Jeez. Okay, let's say pre-COVID theater. To take that argument. That argument. I remember doing it every time I was with Fantasia. God, it feels like 4 decades ago. And I was like, I probably won't watch the whole thing through. And then the minute the show ended, I watched the entire thing right through. Is it a full ticket price, or am I getting like a little bit of a discount?
That's a good question. Let's say it's like a $30 ticket, but then you get some cool swag.
I'd probably do it. Would you?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it would be that bad. I mean, it is long because it's 8 episodes and they're like just between 30 and 40 minutes. I looked it up. It's like, I think it's just over 5 hours.
Jeez, I watched it all. You know, here's the people were. I know some people, probably mostly Andrew, were complaining that the episodes were very short. For me, I'm still like way more preferring that because they're a little bit short, but the thing that they do right is they are to the point.
Yeah,
there's no nonsense. It's to the point, and there's not, especially like the second episode, which is probably my favorite. There's not a lot of dialogue. Like no one really talks on this show. There's, it's very rare, so you don't need that much time on that, and that. And that I just think if they were longer, I feel like I don't know, they would start dragging and it would start missing out on things. It'd be too much, and you'd find yourself being bored. But I also, I mentioned a little while ago I watched Dunkirk again. That movie's like 90 minutes and it's nonstop good.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta trim the fat. And I think
it gets to the point with that show where like the conversation between the two scout troopers is like jarring. It's like they're talking so much and doing nothing, but it's funny, so like you forget about it.
Exactly. But so for me, I would say I think I would do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it.
I mean, I might not.
I'm an easy sell, right? Because I like going to the theater. So like.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day. I think they're gonna have to change the model for the movies in the theaters. Nowadays, like it's
absolutely.
But I don't think they will though. I think they're gonna be stubborn about it. But I think they have to. I think they have to realize that a change is needed. And I was talking to a friend the other day. It's like, remember when you go see like Wedding Crashers or like Anchorman, and you would just have a good time and you'd laugh for like 80 minutes, 90 minutes, and then you'd leave.
Yeah,
that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like comedies just don't come out, and if they do, they're on Netflix. Like they just don't happen.
Yeah, they're doing way better on Netflix. Like Fire Saga, a lot of people watch that, or however it's called. Yeah, Fire. No, what you know what I'm talking about? The new Will Ferrell movie.
Eurovision.
The Fire Saga.
Is that what it's called? I haven't seen it.
But a lot of people I know did watch it to the point that there's a song in it that it became a meme,
Really?
So I was like, I wonder, and I think it was supposed to release in, maybe I'm confusing a bunch of movies, but like, it was a good movie, but like, I think a lot of people are in the frame of mind that like, oh, I would never pay to watch this. But like, it's like, well, you are paying to watch it on Netflix. You're just not paying. You can't see it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think those movies still exist, but like Never, Always Be My Maybe. That was a big hit on Netflix. That could easily have been released in theaters.
What is that one? I've never even heard of that.
That's the one with. Oh God. It's I always forget her name. She's a comedian, Baby Cobra on Netflix, where she's pregnant. Always, there it is. I put in Always, and Always Be My Maybe is the first search.
Of course. It sounds like that movie definitely maybe with Ryan Reynolds.
And Ali Wong and Randall Park, and they're like high school.
Is that the Keanu Reeves one where he has the Keanu Reeves cameo?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I've seen the cameo bit because somebody played it in a room that I was in years ago before COVID, when people were allowed to be in the same room as each other.
But that did well. This was pre-COVID, of course, but that movie did well. So like, with what you're saying, it's like, it kind of doesn't exist anymore for comedies. But people because like, I'm sure there's an article that says comedies don't work in theaters anymore. It's like, but they work on Netflix, so it's like. I
think comedies though are I I liked seeing comedies in the theater. A good comedy. The problem is they don't make a lot of good comedies anymore. That's one of the problems. Is they're just not funny like they used to be. Like the comedy always kind of goes like this, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Like the '90s was like we gotta make teen movies only. But then there's something when Mary comes along and kind of they're just not as strong as they were. Like I said, like Wedding Crashers, Anchorman, 40-Year-Old Virgin. You just don't get quality like that anymore in comedies that you would pay to go see it when you have. And it's harder now because you have something like Netflix where you can be like, well, I'll just watch one on Netflix instead. You'll just stay home. But there's an experience going to the theater and having a good laugh with people that is, I just think doesn't exist anymore, and we're missing out on.
I don't know. It's hard to say because it's like you mentioned 40-Year-Old Virgin, but Judd Apatow is still making movies. His movies have definitely evolved in a way. Like 40-Year-Old Virgin doesn't feel like King of Staten Island. They're two kind of. Yeah. They I guess he feel did. Judd Apatow, but you know what I mean? Like
he did. I haven't seen Trainwreck. Was that funny?
Yeah, it was. You know what it is? It's like they put these characters like Trainwreck and King of Staten Island were like, well, here's like a somewhat heightened version of yourself. Just be yourself, right? Yeah. Funny people is Adam Sandler being an old comedian. I'm like, oh, so he's being himself. And like, here's Seth Rogen, especially at that time, he's like, here's like the passing of the baton.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, now like Seth Rogen doesn't make pot movies anymore, technically. He makes, American Pickle, which is more of a dramatic comedy, if anything like that. Like,
have you seen that?
No, I want to watch it, but Joe, my roommate, watched it. He says like it's not what I expected, but it was something. And I'm like,
I saw that. So I was like, I saw the poster. I was like, what the hell? And I watched the trailer, and I was just like, well.
But like, maybe we're hitting on something here where it's like Hollywood doesn't want to give anybody else a try.
No,
just like Judd Apatow, which is like no slam against Judd Apatow. But Judd Apatow is evolving as a director and a writer and a person. Like,
but then the problem becomes also is if Judd Apatow's like, I want to make this movie with this new hot comedian, and then the studio's like, well, we can't give you the budget for that. It's got to go straight to streaming because it's not going to make the money in the theater anymore. Like, it's.
No, I thought King of Staten Island was.
It was going, but I mean, if they really, really believed in it, they would have held off on it. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, true.
There's this thing now where it's got to be Avengers, Star Wars, and it's got to make $1 billion.
Yeah.
Or really, or it's got to be an awards contender. Otherwise, we're not getting anything else in the theater anymore.
But you're right. It's sort of like it's just all about money now. It's not about making something cool to look at anymore. Like, ugh.
It's quantity over quality mostly too. We're just getting a lot of stuff thrown at us. Like I said the other day, I think, when I made the joke about the 80s having when they made good movies, it was more. What I think they need to go back to this is like, don't worry about giving me a tentpole film every week of the year. Give me a few in the summer, and then give me the smaller movies. Give me some, Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles in November and March, and then like in July next year, I'll go see Ghostbusters and I'll go see. Wonder Woman 2. Like, I'll do that, but don't always make it the big explosions. Like, let's get back to that a little bit, and let's make those tentpole movies where I feel like when I go see Wonder Woman 2 or Ghostbusters or something like that, it feels like like it's an experience. Like I'm there, it's an event. Like I'm there for a reason because it's the big movie and I gotta go see it.
Well, like you're an expert on holiday movies, specifically Christmas. WGR, Wonderful Girlfriend Reham, brought up the fact that like, because she likes Halloween quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
She loves Hocus Pocus. Like that's like she watches it every year.
Yep.
But she was saying it's like, back in the 90s we had a lot more fun spooky movies, not horror films, but like you had Hocus Pocus. You had Beetlejuice feels like Halloween. Tim Burton stuff, but then like Ghostbusters is like that you could watch that on Halloween, right?
Yeah.
why do you think we don't see those much anymore?
Well, honestly, I think CG kind of ruins things. I do. I think it takes away. I feel like there's just this loss of. I don't think it's a loss of creativity because I think there's still a lot of very, very creative people out there with those ideas. But I think there's a fear, and it goes back to the money, that if it's not a name brand, people like. I don't think they wouldn't make Beetlejuice or Edward Scissorhands today in a million years. But when you look between like the mid '70s with like the Lucas and Coppola and Spielberg and Scorsese coming up to like mid to late '80s. Mostly that era, if you look at that time period, they made the most mucked up like Gremlins. You know what I mean? Like the movies they made back then, you're just like, what? Like, first of all, every movie has cocaine and boobs. Every action movie has to have that. But there was this freedom that they had to like, let's just do this, and they would throw it out, and like people were maybe it was the cocaine that they were all taking at the time. That could actually be the answer. But there's just this weird creativity and freedom where they would just, like Joe Dante. What was the last thing he did? He did something recently, I think. He did like Looney Tunes Back in Action. Like, that's not Gremlins or Piranha. Yeah. There's something missing, and I think it has to do with the money. And they're afraid that if it's not a name brand, if you don't recognize the IP, you're not going to go see the movie. So movies like Beetlejuice, they're like, we'll make a second one, but they would never make a movie like Beetlejuice. And if they did, it would be straight to Netflix, and it would be missing something because I think the CG, they wouldn't have the proper budget to make it as good as it should be. And it's not that CG can't. I mean, I think the prequels prove that CG can replace puppets. I think if you look at Jar Jar and Watto, you know, there are elements in there that you're like, well, it looks as tangible as a puppet, right? Like I think there's a lot of those. But you have to have the budget, and I just don't think they're going to put the budget in, because when you put the budget in, it's got to make that money back. And if they don't believe it's going to make that money back, they're not going to give you that money, so they're going to lower your budget to fit it. And then especially if they're like, we're just going to put this on Netflix. But then, I don't know, you look at that Dark Crystal show on Netflix, that thing just looks incredible.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell's going on in it, but it looks incredible. Well, let's go get the crystal! Yeah! What? I don't know what anyone just said. And then Taron Egerton speaks. I'm like, well, I know what he's saying.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like one character that speaks a whole different language, and you don't get any. They just understand. You know, it's the bad version of how Luke can understand R2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're like, oh, I get it. But then it's like the guys are talking. I'm like, and they're like, what? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, let's go. I'm like,
yeah.
Animals, and I couldn't make that joke.
What sucks the life force? But by the way, I am available for voicing season 2 of that series. If you want me to voice it.
If I was an actor or in Hollywood in any form, I would jump on the opportunity to do voice acting. It looks like the best job, and there's so much opportunity for it, especially now.
Yeah. But back to your hocus pocus, why they don't make movies like that. I just it's all money. I think it's money. I think they can't recoup, because movies went from like Ghostbusters, whatever. I was talking to somebody the other day too. I'm like, I remember Private Parts, the Howard Stern movie came out, and it made like $75 million, I believe, and it was a massive success.
Yeah. And
they're like, it's a massive success. Nowadays, that's a bomb. You know, like that movie's a bomb, and it's weird because now everything's digital, so it should actually cost less to make a movie like that than it did then. But for some reason, budgets are just expanding. Like, you look at Chasing Amy and Kevin Smith when he said, "I can make this for $250,000." Swingers was made for $250,000. Now that's a ridiculously low number for both of those movies, obviously, and it's not realistic to have every movie like that. But there was a time when that was, but they shot those on film, which the price of that would have been way, way more expensive. You could make those kind of movies for cheap like that, again, easier because it's on digital. So there's just this fear that people won't go see these movies that they've never heard of. And it's probably a valid fear from the studios, because I don't think people are going to see the theater unless they are aware of what they're seeing. We're less inclined to give things a chance nowadays, too. because and it might be because of streaming services like Netflix, Disney, Hulu, Apple, Amazon. Peacock is the number one streaming service. I heard is Peacock.
But yeah, it's valid too. It's just like, it's not a matter of people don't want to make them. It's just like, well, we'll sell it here, because if the studios don't want to buy it and put it in theaters, they're like, well, Netflix and Prime have like given them runs for their money. So
yeah, I think there are things like that probably that they're just not getting the love from the studios to make them as good as they possibly could. That's what I think.
Yeah.
But what do I know? Maybe there's just no creativity, and creativity is dead.
I don't know. It's like, I was thinking, it's like, what's the last movie I watched that blew me away? I'm like, I don't think that's a good question to begin with, because like Endgame, that's a really good movie. It's a really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
But is it quality? Like, it's the new action films.
It's just it's. I had fun in Endgame. I liked the Spider-Man 2 a lot. That was the most fun I think I had in the theater. Star Wars is always a good time.
Yeah. Well, like a film that wasn't a blockbuster, you know what I mean? Like
honestly, movie that I completely loved and blew me away in a lot of ways was Inception.
Yeah. Okay.
I was just like, oh, this is solid. It's not like, I think people overreacted to that movie and they're like, it's so smart. And I'm like, it's not that smart. They tell you, it's a bang heist movie, and they tell you what they're doing every step of the way. Like they hold your hand so that you're not. They hold your hand because they know you're not smart enough to figure it out on your own. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But I just thought it was like, it wasn't something that we got much of anymore. It was just fun, and it took itself seriously, but not over the top. Like it always kind of knew what it was. I think that's what helped it.
Yeah,
and it was able to have fun. That movie I really, really enjoyed, and I always think about. And then what other movies, like what original movies have I even seen? I gotta even look at. Have I bought
Lighthouse?
Ooh, yeah. What's a movie? Hold on, let's see. A movie that I recently purchased that's original. Dope. That didn't blow me away. That's good. Sonic the Hedgehog blew me away.
Yeah, that's a great movie too.
Oh, Jojo Rabbit. Really? That's a movie that... But that movie was limited release. Limited release. Like, and that movie... And I tell...
had all the...
Yeah. And I
would love to see, like, their numbers of viewers of that movie on any way after it won awards. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That movie blew me. I tell people to watch it, and I always get, like... A lot of people are just like, oh, no, I won't watch that. Well, you're lost. Chef I really liked. It didn't blow me away. God, the movies that I recently bought are brutal. The Joker documentary, which was free. Juliet Naked, based on a great book by Nick Hornsby. Dope, Dunkirk, Sonic, and then all the Indiana Jones movies. Invisible Man 2020, which was alright. Swingers, Jojo Rabbit. About a Boy, Nick Hornsby, great again. Knives Out, Rise of Skywalker, Far From Home, Joker, The Grinch. I guess this is Christmas time now, because the Flintstones Christmas Carol is also on my recently bought list. Yeah. Oh, my Amazon order is on the way. If you'll excuse me. It's a different... different delivery man. He's on number 1 and I'm number 13 on his list. Do you ever get this Intelcom? Do they ever deliver to your area? I don't know if they're like...
Yeah.
They're the best. Straight up. I will say that publicly. They're the best. And by the way, your roommate Joe's brother delivers for them in my area.
That's where Tony is.
Like, I'm not even joking. Side Akbar here. I'm cutting the grass in the backyard on the riding lawnmower. Yeah. And I see Tony walking around the back with the Tony smile and wave and everything Tony with 2 Amazon packages, and he puts them on my barbecue and he goes, and he leaves. And I was like, Was that Tony? And then the next day he came with another package because it's just a lot of Amazon ordering. And I'm like, this guy, and he's a little bit taller than Tony, but his spitting at it, same facial hair, color, mannerisms. And he goes, I know you, don't even worry about it. I'm like, what is happening? So Tony, it's not Tony today though. It's not Tony. I'm sure this guy's good too, but
yeah. All right, shall we move on?
Yeah, I never told you. I've had this graphic up, but then Tony distracted me. Never tell me the odds.
Never tell me the odds.
Today's odds are brought to us by Patreon. Patreon, thank you so much, Patreon, for all of your support.
Our Patreon patrons are Heidi Feder, executive producer, Barry Brophy, Dennis Allen, Mary Kristen Aton, Jeff Wilson, Phil Staniforth, Janet Rubio, Sooner Thrawn, Rural Farm Boy, Austin Schur, Scott D, Andy Higgins, Josh Price, Mason Hope,
Matt W. Rez, Frank Perkins, Neil Lowry, D. Raven, Spencer Gleek, Play One, Automated, Joy, Disney, Desi, Charlotte, Kayla Davis, Aaron Quinton, Jericho Kane, Girls with Sabers, Den of Nerds, Den of Nerds, Den of Nerds. True story. Josh used to make fun of me because I liked the DC universe, and now he's super excited that Affleck's back. So I'm calling him out on that one. Calling
is back,
him. Also, all of our odds today are brought to us, were suggested to us by Patreon good friend Andy Higgins. Andy sent in some odds, so they're all holiday special related. Brock, you ready?
Yeah.
Never tell me the odds. Chewie's family will show up. Will Chewie's family show up in the holiday special to celebrate Life Day?
Yes. I think it's a huge miss if they don't put even if they're just walking through the background.
Yeah.
But I think there is a report that they are going to be in it in some form.
It's got to be too self-aware not to have it.
I'm going to go 99.9%.
I'm going to go 91. Like I said, it's too self-aware not to have them in it. They'll be like, Lumpy! Never tell me the odd. Number 2, will we see an Ewok adventure in the holiday special? Will that be the animated thing? Will they do that through like a little cartoon in the middle there, like 2D animation? You're like, oh my god, this is amazing. Or will Ewok show up? Will there be an Ewok adventure in the middle of this?
Yeah. I'm gonna go 60%. I think like you said earlier today or early in the episode, it's like they have all these animations already, and I know they drop Ewoks constantly in their Star Wars thing. Yeah. So like, yeah.
Yeah, we got deprived of Ewoks, I think. I mean, I know Wicket and his son came back in Rise of Skywalker, which was the best part of that movie. I'm going to go 61%. Mostly I want it to happen.
How beautiful would it be if the new episodes of Mandalorian, it just starts, they're on Endor? For whatever reason, right? Because we get the sense perhaps that the Mandalorian's going to do a lot of like going from place to place based on nothing. But yeah,
I would love to see an Ewok show up on that show.
It's beautiful.
Now, okay, this one is never tell me the odds. Mark Hamill's voice will be in it, but let's say he's not voicing Luke, and let's say Mark Hamill's voice has a secondary character.
Oh,
sorry, Andy, I had to change it up.
I'm gonna say 80%, and I think that would be. I think Mark Hamill's really into. We know he's really in the voiceover game, but like I feel like recently he's been like, "Oh, I was the voice of this and this and this," and like, oh, because he was the robot bartender in Mandalorian.
Yeah, well, he didn't spill the beans on that; they did, and then he was like, "Got cat's out of the bag."
Well, you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
I think he's just like. I can, especially now where everyone in Hollywood has a podcast studio like this somewhere in their house. They're in closets.
Yeah,
they all have microphones, so they're all recording. So I'm gonna go, but I like that. He'll voice something else, and maybe that'll be like I can see that being a joke in Lego where it's like he voices like Vader or something.
Yeah, and he goes, "Hey, you don't sound like Luke."
But with the mask on, how can I fight?
I'm going to go 83.7295%. All right. Thanks, Andy, for those odds. Are you ready for the news?
I'm always ready for the news.
By the way, you should know. I'm gonna sing Holla News, da 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 Holla News, Holla News, and I'm turning my mic off now. Holla.
Today in Holla News, the news you need to know right now. We just talked about Lego Holiday Special coming up, but there's other news in Lego. You can now buy these designer Lego sets, 3,000 plus pieces, where you can hang them on your wall as art. They've unveiled 4 different types of kits: Iron Man, Star Wars, the Beatles, and Andy Warhol's famous painting of Marilyn Monroe. All 4 are available to pre-order now for $120 each, and will be delivered September 1st, which is not too far away. Mm-hmm. And you can put them together. The pieces can be with the Star Wars one. It can be Darth Vader or Darth Maul or Kylo Ren, and all the pieces together can be switched around. Or you can buy a whole bunch, and apparently you can make an elaborate collage of some sort. Also, there's a auction happening August 26th, which is this week. Several props and costumes from the saga are going up for auction in the prop store of Los Angeles and London. Some very coveted pieces are among the items, including a full Darth Vader costume from 1977, which was, I believe, used as promotional, like going to the premieres. It wasn't in the actual theaters, but it is film authentic. Part of a larger sci-fi horror movie auction held on the 26th and 27th. Lucky fans will have the chance to get their hands on some of the great heroes of Rebel Alliance, specifically Admiral Akbar. You can buy the mask that is his face, or rather the Admiral Akbar sculpt. And it is from the original mold from Return of the Jedi and will set you back at least $3,000 to $5,000, depending on how high of a bidding war goes up. Also, this week coming up, actually, I believe next weekend, is a fan-run convention called Force Fest that will be online. This is trying to take the place of Star Wars Celebration, since it was obviously canceled because of COVID. Force Fest, a fan-run virtual Star Wars convention put on by our friends at Skywalking Through Neverland, taking place from August 28th through 30th, exclusively online. Force Fest will chock full of the type Star Wars excitement and discussion will be missed at Celebration this year. So far, their guests are author J.W. Rinsler, podcaster Dan Zare, Walt Disney World and Star Wars Celebration mainstay Mark Daniel, and even Laughing Place's own Star Wars podcast, Who the Boss, hosted by Mike Celestino. Perhaps they'll get more celebrities, but as it says, like, this is more of a fans coming together thing. It sounds like it's going to be fun. Check it out. And also, you all know me, I love Funko Pops. They just released what will be part of the Celebration exclusives. They are going to release the Ralph McQuarrie versions of characters. So Chewbacca, Darth Vader, the original Stormtroopers, and I don't think the woman character is supposed to be Leia, but like, if you've looked at the original Ralph McQuarrie art, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So that will be coming out. They'll be dropping in different stores exclusives. And I believe there was a Fan Friday or something like that where they showed new bundles of figures they're putting together. There's a Rebel Alliance one, Resistance, Empire, Sith, Jedi, of like 5 or 6 characters put in a box together. That will be releasing later in the year. And one of the biggest things that was shown is it is I don't know how to say it. I guess like the diorama of the hallway of the Tantive 4 and A New Hope, where you can pose all your characters. So that was apparently one of the most popular releases this year or this week of that you can buy it soon. So check it out. There's probably going to be a lot of news in the next couple of weeks, the next week or so, since they're trying to fill the void of celebration, so you'll probably hear from us again. So, this has been your Hollow News.
Hollow News.
Yeah, we're both excited about these Funko Pops.
Yeah. Yes. I would get all of them, to be honest, but if I had to get 2 only, I would get Vader and that Trooper and Chewbacca.
Now, the short one or the big one? Because it's like a 10-inch Stormtrooper I forgot to mention.
Probably the small one, because I have I don't have any big ones. You have the Wicket, which I want, but I don't have any big ones except that my Mando riding the Blurg. Yeah, I guess is a big one, but it's not really a big one because it's kind of 2 pops on top of each other. So I don't actually have any oversized Funkos, which is
probably a good thing.
Probably, yeah. Top five things we would like to see in the holiday special. In the new holiday special, what 5 things would we like to see in the new 2020 holiday special, which will probably win or be nominated at least for 7 different Emmys? I would like to see Jefferson Starship.
My 5th is a musical one too. It doesn't have to be a B. Arthur character, but just hear the song that she sings in the background of something.
Yes, yes, good, yes. My number 4, Wicket and Sun. Wicket and Sun. Sun and Wicket. Wicket and Sun celebrating Life Day together. Do Ewoks celebrate Life Day? Or is that just purely Wookiees?
I think that the new canon says that it's a galactic holiday. Perhaps they don't recognize it on Endor, but like now with Galaxy's Edge having like Life Day actually being a day on the park, like I think it's across the board.
I think my Amazon package is here. I heard the doorbell.
Is your Alexa glowing a yellow thing?
No, it's too early.
My number 4 is gonna be somehow make the Lego Mark Hamill look like Mark Hamill in that thing where it's like post car accident in that one? His hair is like vibrantly blonde. I think it's a wig.
Yeah.
I think it's tricky with a Lego. Like just something like that.
I think it is post, yeah.
It doesn't look quite right.
I'm gonna go, it's just my number 3 is Leia singing another song.
I'm going to switch it up and not make it about the old one. I want Babu Frick to be in this holiday special. And he's going to be this big.
That'd be amazing. Oh, yeah, Life Day. Babu. I can't do a Babu. I want Kylo Ren and Vader celebrating, but I want like that, like Kylo to be a little boy and Vader to be his grandfather. That's how I want it to be.
This is number 2.
Yeah.
I think definitely those red cloaks the Wookiees wear for Life Day.
Yes.
It has to be. It has to be in there.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be lumpy and itchy wearing them, but like you got it. Like it's got to be.
My number 1, Ben Quadineros, and I don't care how.
My number 1 is going to be George Lucas Lego Pop.
Lego. Oh my God!
It's like I didn't make any of this. I didn't agree to any of this. This is not my.
I sold this. This isn't me. This isn't mine.
Not really.
Oh, this was
Life Day. That's that. You made that up.
Actually, it wasn't actually me. It was Gary Kurtz.
Actually,
throw everybody under the bus, but him. It was ABC executives. They said, "What if it's just Life Day?" And I was like, "Oh."
Bruce Valanche thought up all of this.
Bruce Valanche. Remember Hollywood Squares when he was like.
He's a writer on the original one.
Oh, I know. He writes everything. He's Bruce Valanche. Yeah. He's like the most unknown person who has written everything you've ever loved.
Known, unknown.
Yeah, but he was big time on Hollywood. Like they put him in a square. They were like, Bruce Valanche will be on every episode of Hollywood Squares with Whoopi Goldberg as center square.
Yeah.
All right, I guess that'll happen. He's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Well, this was a lot of fun, Brock.
It was okay.
Like, I'm not going to lie to you. I got to get going.
I know. Marsh is coming over.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever, bro.
Check it out. Did you know that I had this? Ha ha ha.
We almost got through the entire episode.
I wasn't going to let it happen. It looks like I'm about to rob a bank. It's like a... Come on. Don't I look like the Lone Ranger?
For you people just listening, he put a mask on.
Yeah.
Like, you can probably tell in the audio because I started crawling around.
Get it, stop. I'm smiling. Can you tell?
Yeah, because you're smizing.
Not. You have to smile with your eyes now. Oh, this is how people wear it at the grocery stores.
With the nose exposed.
Like the whole. I was at Walmart and people were like this. Oh my god. Yeah. It's like,
take it off or have it just hang from one ear.
They can't take it off because you have to wear it to go in. And then the employer's like,
true.
"Can you put on your mask?" It is on. It has to cover. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
That's how it is. Anyway, this has been a lot of fun, Brock. Thank you.
Thank you, James.
Anytime.
You were always scum.
Rebel scum.
Yay! All right.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.